Name is Brian Mushiri. Today, your voice is not in the streets, it's in studio because I got three young people to talk to me about marriage from different tribes and cultures. Right next to me is Morgan and Helen, and then there is Cairo Karega. Guys, how are you people?
Hey Brian.
Mko poa?
Hi, good morning.
Mimi nimekam tuongee hii story muniambie. Would you marry from someone that is not from your tribe? Let's start with the lady in the group.
Well, I don't see a problem with it totally, as long as both of you are connecting. I think diversity is good.
Your folks would constantly be fine with you marrying from or getting married from a tribe that is not where you come from?
Well, they wouldn't be, but once you're an adult, I think there's always a way that you can be able to negotiate with your parents if they're not comfortable with you marrying from another tribe.
Do you get into a relationship already preempting that you will marry this lady, and if you're going to marry them, itakusumbua that they are not Kikuyu? Because I'm seeing Cairo Karega.
I doubt tribe will be the #1 factor, because if a lady is walking down, you don't hana a sticker on her that she's a Kikuyu or she's a Luo, she's a Kalenjin. If she's beautiful, she's beautiful. Eh? Kama ni malisafi una appreciate. I don't think malisafi inaenda na tag. So okay. Plus there's some things that if you constrain yourself to a certain tribe, what if you don't get the Kikuyu lady that you want? What if you don't get the Luo lady that you want? And the Maasai is the one that has all the things that you want. So I believe do justice to yourself.
If we are talking about, say, Kikuyu, and tunajua the direction that the marriage process in the Kikuyu culture and community works, then you're here, you come to tell your parents that I want to marry in Luya land. How hiyo itaenda vizuri sana na wazazi kweli, na wanataka sisi tunajua venye kunafuatanga maneno ya Kikuyu in terms of ratio?
Well, ideally for me, I would say the first thing that happens is it's you who is marrying. Of course, the parents have a place to play. But then for me, I think it's you who is marrying. And you see, you can't go around asking all ladies, hey, are you a Kikuyu? Let me marry you. Or, hey, you're a Luya, let me marry you. For me, I think when we talk about, let's say, something like love at first sight, if that strikes, man, you don't have time to ask about the tribe. But, well, I think for me, if I can just digress slightly kidogo,
yeah.
For me, my folks would have a problem with some just very two tribes. And man, my dad has sat me a number of times, countless, telling me, son, please don't try to do that. Don't try bring that at home.
I know several people, even my friends, wenye mama yao na baba yao wamewaketisha chini wakawambia cheki. Huku hakuolewangwi ama huwa hatuoi kutoka kwa ile community ingine. Helen, is this something maybe that you've had a conversation with your folks from, or is this something that you've had at least from a friend, and what's your take on it?
Well, yeah, I've heard about it. It happens. Parents sit you down and they tell you, by the way, nisisikie mtu kutoka kwa kabila fulani huku. But then you listen to them, but you know, life doesn't work like that. You know, you go out there, you meet someone, they're from a different tribe, so what's next?
When you get married and have children with this gentleman, and Cairo, I'm just bringing you back, there are certain fundamental aspects of your relationship and your child bringing up a child that you have things like circumcision. There are some communities, and Morgan, I can see you nodding from where I sit. I'll let you also weigh in on that. Something like circumcision. There are some communities that do it as early as when a child is 7 years old. There are those that do it that is fairly common after class 8, that's around 13 years old. Cairo, what do you make of this?
I think some of these things is just for me and her to sit down and agree and come to a win-win situation, because I don't think it will be such a big issue. I don't think for me it will be a deal breaker for me not to marry the woman of my dreams, because apparently she'll tell me I want my son to be circumcised at class 1. Oh. If I really love her, I'll just maybe let her circumcise Basi, because even the main reason for circumcision is health. So I don't think it will be a deal breaker for me, some of these things. I think as long as we mutually respect one another and we can sit down and have a mature conversation on some of these things, because it's going to be a reality that we have different cultures and we have come from different cultures, and of course there's some things that we'll have to do differently, but the reality of the matter is that we'll have to sit down and talk together, because we will have known we are both from different tribes.
Oh, just to touch something on that, Brian.
Yeah.
See, I'm looking at the 21st century parent. See, there's a difference between the 21st century parent and, you know, those old generation, because those, you see, the difference comes in when those old generation parents, they used to decide, you know, for you, I had, some would even go to an extent of getting for you a girlfriend. You cannot deny two people who have loved each other and then to come together so that, you know, they can experience the aspect of love. Now, coming to the issue of agreement in terms of some of the cultural backgrounds, ideally, I think, because the purpose of marriage, these are two people who are coming from different cultural backgrounds. Necessarily, the beauty of it is the ability to accept and come into a consensus, bearing in mind that the people from this culture, they have this kind of, you know, the way you've talked about something like circumcision. So
yes.
Now the beauty comes in when she brings her idea and says, for us, we circumcise at this age, and, you know, you from your side, you say we circumcise. Now, when you come to a consensus, I believe that is something that makes the marriage sweeter.
I would like you to weigh in on that aspect. Culture. We've gotten married. We're from two different cultures.
I think just like Morgan and Cairo have said, it's about consensus between both of you, because then once you are together, you already know that you're from different cultures and there is no culture that is similar to the other. So the solution is to sit down as partners and agree on the way forward, because otherwise there are going to be chaos. And that is where now again parents come in and they're like, si tulikuambia, you see. So the best thing I think is to first accept that you're coming from different backgrounds, you're coming from different cultures, you're coming from different upbringings, and once you accept that, it becomes easy.
Let's look at what happened during COVID-19 period. Some tribes circumcised their boys after class 8, but
yes.
when there was no KCP last year, so plus
okay,
class
yeah,
8 haitakuwa, si kuna CBC, there'll be class 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you see, these cultures, most of them are just imposed on us, I tend to think.
And culture
like,
is not religion.
yeah,
anyway.
there's no way it has been
Something-
written on
yeah.
stone that thou must do this and that.
Na watu wasipate notion mbaya nikitumia Helen, she's the only lady kwa hii panel. But kenye unasema ni mimi na Helen tukiamua kuoana. Na wazazi wangu wameniambia usijaribu kuoa kwa hiyo tribe ya kina Helen tafadhali. Na ukioa hauko na baraka zetu. Alafu tukosane tu kidogo. You know how marriage goes. Sometimes kukuwe na small tiff. Ati itakuwa wataniambia, sisi tulikuambia.
Oh my God, and they really love that part. They really love that aspect, because you see,
But
as
you
a
married
parent, you
your
would want.
partner, you didn't marry your parents.
Helen, what do you have to say about this?
Okay, I think let me first start with the culture thing.
Yes.
I feel like some cultures are very progressive, and culture is not religion. You don't have to follow it. Just do what works for you. And every family has its own culture. Forget about the tribe thing. I feel like the family is the smallest unit in the society, and every family has its own unique culture. So how about you as partners sit down and come up with your unique culture? Let not culture dictate you on how you're going to live your life. You know,
My director keeps telling me time is up. Any final remarks, lady and gentlemen?
Create your own family culture. I think that's my...
That's your take out of
simply
it.
put,
take.
it is your life.
Yeah.
You decide which direction it takes.
And this you're speaking to, sorry Morgan, and this you're speaking to young people out there who are about to get themselves into marriage perhaps?
Nevertheless, Brian, yes, of course, we're speaking to the young people who are about to get married. As much as we discussing and talking about saying that you are the person who the final decision rests with,
Okay.
the part of the parents that has not to be ignored, because there has to be that aspect of consultation. There has to be that aspect of consultation of how do this, how do that. So ideally, my final remarks is that go for who you love, but
Yes.
at least make your parents know.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This morning, it's all about marriage from different tribes. Na hiyo ndiyo kauli ya the young people in the room. They say they don't really care where their partner comes from, which tribe they are from, or which culture they believe in. It's all about love. And to the young people out there, let your parents live their lives and you live your life. My name is Brian Mushiri. Good morning.